Hi, my name's Abby, this is my dad, and this is my sister Rebecca. Today on Cooking with Abby, we're making bark.
Like tree bark?
Yeah, with a lot of flavors on it.
No, we're making chocolate bark. It is awesome. We have chose to make caramel,
Nuts,
2 kinds
Salt.
of nuts, and salt. We also made our own caramel. You can find that.
and raisins.
And raisins, oh my goodness. I didn't even taste the raisin ones yet.
No.
Something to look forward to. Hey Abs,
Yeah,
where can people find the recipe?
here, cookingwithabby.com.
Awesome. So what we've gone and done, this is a super simple recipe. It's really easy. You melt up some chocolate, you sprinkle on whatever you have lying around that you think would be good with chocolate, and you're good to go. We went ahead, we pre-chopped all of our stuff. We pre-chopped our nuts. We pre-chopped our raisins so that, you know, they were a little smaller and a little bite-sized. And we chopped up our chocolate, and that's just gonna make putting it together, really, it takes way longer to chill after it's done than it does to make. So,
Yeah.
shall we get
Wait, I have
started?
a question.
Oh, you have a question before we get started.
When you said like you can top it with anything, I had an idea that like, you know how like strawberries are really good with chocolate and like Nutella and stuff? Could you like cut up like fresh fruits and just sprinkle them on top and then freeze it like that?
I think we could try it,
And tell them how it goes?
obviously and absolutely, or you guys can try it and tell us how it goes. The difference with the fresh fruit is it's not gonna last, right? You're gonna have to eat it right away. Whereas if you did apricots or raisins or cranberries or other dried fruits, 100%. Anything that's dried, perfect. Shall we get started now? Are we good? Any
Yes.
more, do you have a question?
Nope.
No question.
No? Do you have a question?
Can we start?
First step of our bark, we have to melt our chocolate. So there's a couple ways you can do this. We're choosing probably the most complicated way. We have a bowl here. We have another saucepan there with hot water in it. We're gonna bring that water that's already boiled up to a simmer, and we're gonna melt our chocolate that way. Now, you could use the microwave. That works. I find you have a little less control. With the microwave, it's far easier to go too far, and once you've gone too far, your chocolate turns into this nasty glob that you can't use, and then it's garbage, and no one likes that. So we're gonna melt our chocolate, and we'll be right back. Chocolate is melted. Other than chopping it into small pieces, another thing that I tend to do is when you're left with a few little bits left that are still solid, take it off the heat then. They'll melt with the residual heat of the chocolate, but you diminish the chance of actually burning the chocolate and turning into that nasty stuff which happens in the microwave, and that's why I don't do that. So, I don't know if we mentioned this, but this is such a complicated recipe. Like, it's honestly the hardest thing we've ever made on Cooking with Abby. Oh wait, no it isn't. It's probably the simplest thing we've ever made. So we're done. We have melted chocolate, we've got our raisins, we've got our salt, we've got our caramel, we've got our mixed nuts, and that's it. We're gonna dump this out over onto our parchment paper now. And I'm gonna spread it out kind of evenly. We have opted to do a couple different rows of everything so that we're gonna have some pieces that are salty, we're gonna have some pieces that are caramelly, I don't think that's a word. We're gonna have some pieces that are nutty, that's definitely a word. And then we're gonna have some that are a bit of everything, which is gonna be super tasty and yummy. And as Abby pointed out afterwards, we're gonna break it up into pieces, so it's not like you have to be super careful as you spread this out, because, you know, some pieces are gonna be, you know, super close to their neighbors and cross-pollinate and have all kinds of fun stuff, right? So there's still a little extra sugar. Chocolate there.
Social distancing happening
That
here.
it just looked like you scraped off the sides, but then it looked like a design in the middle.
You didn't know I was making art. So,
Totally.
done, all in the pan, all in the center. We're gonna smooth it out a little bit.
Like when we watch like those, like we watched that chocolate video, like how chocolate was made, and we saw like, and when we watch other videos, they like play with it and they go like in the middle and then they like.
So that's
with that cake
tempering. That's tempering chocolate. That's a whole other thing that we're just not gonna do because that's super complicated. It's not super complicated. You just need to make sure everything is at the right temperature. This is way simpler than any of that. All we're doing here is making sure that we have even coverage, that the chocolate is fairly evenly spread so that you don't have super thick parts and super thin parts. That said, that's okay, right? All right, guys. Chocolate is done. Now, here's what I'm going to suggest. Let's make like
Bars?
and then So you can kind of do like a little salt there. How about I do the salt?
Yeah.
Because the salt is the only one that if you go kind of over the top, will taste a little gross. We have some yummy sea salt, flaky salt here. Okay, you may not need to be that crazy.
If you do too much salt.
Yeah, if you do too much salt, only Mummy will like it.
I like to, no. Not too much. I like
Exactly.
salt, not too much.
All right, so Rebecca, do you want to do raisins down the middle?
So like here?
Yeah, do what I did, but down the middle that way with the raisins.
Can
Abby,
I
you can do a caramel at the same time.
Where, like, do I do it on different?
Yeah, just kind of like grip it and do it this way.
This way?
Yeah, this is our homemade caramel that we made ourselves. Maybe try keep it on the chocolate.
Sorry.
Don't sorry, it's just going to be all caramel. Now, if we're honest, we've burnt our caramel a little bit, but it's still pretty tasty. Yeah, you can do that. Just kind of move it around, get some thin things. Okay, and then it looks like we have room that we're going to do a little nut through the middle here.
I think I should do a bit more.
I think you should definitely do a bit more.
We can finish everything off. I mean, maybe not.
Well, maybe not everything.
The raisins.
Like the nuts, there's a little too much to finish
I think
off.
there's definitely more nuts than we necessarily wanted.
Yeah.
The other thing that I was going to suggest now is that this way, we do some this way. So now we have some that are nuts and raisins and salt.
And then I can do my caramel that way.
And then you do caramel that way. And Rebecca, you do raisins that way.
This way?
Yeah, so you
What
do
about
raisins
salt?
down the middle. Just try not to drop as many right in the middle.
Okay.
And boom, we're gonna let this harden. We're gonna put it, you could put it in the fridge, you can let it harden on the countertop, depends how hungry you are and how much you wanna get into it.
Can I put this, like,
There's
with my
only a
finger?
little.
Yeah, sure. And then we're gonna come back and look at that. We didn't have too much. We had just the right amount. We're gonna come back and we're gonna eat it, because really, that's the best part.
Looks so good.
You're getting messy with that caramel.
Yes, I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as I alluded to before, the most complicated cooking. Oh wait, no. Super easy. Our bark is done. We put ours in the freezer to jumpstart the barking. You're making an awful lot of noise there on your little stoolie. I have the knife out because I'm wondering if, to ensure we get our breaks kind of where we want them, I'm going to score our chocolate.
Won't it melt?
Won't it melt? It will melt. It will get harder than it is now, but it won't go back to liquid.
We're gonna eat all
I
of that.
remember when
just
I
like
did
we-
Yeah, we're gonna eat the whole thing.
bowls. When I
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
the bowls with Maya, it was like melting when I was trying to like when we were putting them together and popping the balloons, it was like melting.
Yeah, this shouldn't do that. Now, I think
Doesn't matter if we.
my scores didn't work.
It's okay. They'll be good.
I think they'll be great. I think we've got a little piece of everything here. To be honest, I'm not that super stoked about the raisin only. I'm actually
Yeah.
super stoked about the caramel. Guys, break in and get some chocolate.
Oh no,
that's not-
Please. Okay. I didn't put raisins all down here. I thought
You talk too much. Caramel is super good, even though it's burnt. I think I got a bit of saltiness on that one. I want to try maybe half of that. So good.
Caramel gives you like a green.
there.
I can see it gives you a good. So, keep in mind, don't make your chocolate too thin, because when it's too thin, it turns into these little things and doesn't break. I mean, it snaps, it's good. But you want thicker pieces of chocolate. Wow.
I got nuts.
Like that
You
thing.
got chocolate all over your face. You're clean so far.
Yeah.
So, young lady, with chocolate on your face, where can people find more amazing videos like this one?
Cookingwithabby.com.
Where else can they find them, Abigail?
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. If you subscribe and hit that notification ding-a-ling thingamabobber.
You know, at some point we need to get that whole long thingamabobber bing just to Click the notification bell. Because that's all you need to say. I got
It's
chocolate all over me.
Yeah, but that way it's not fun. You have to say it the fun way.
Listen, you guys should make this because it's super quick, super easy. All kinds of different toppings. Everything's available to you. Anything that you like to eat with chocolate, you can put on here. So go try it.
Good.
And we will see you 6 months from now.
No, next week.
Oh, next week. Bye-bye. I feel like the world needs to see. Beats down.
Beats down.
That's not good.
Dude, you just ate all the chocolate.
No, I can't. Also, all of that. And all of that.